Dead by Daylight, asymmetric horror game, has triggered the trans community. I wouldn't normally cover a quote-unquote controversy this inane, but Dead by Daylight's quite near and dear to my heart. Unlike other pundits I've seen commenting on this from both sides of the aisle, I have a fairly good grasp of the game, so I have a bit more insight than they do, even though it's of meager value. Dead by Daylight is an asymmetric horror game. There's 3 survivors and 1 killer, so in each game you can choose to play as either the killer or one of the 4 survivors. The developers, Behavior, have created their own killers, as well as added a myriad of licensed killers to the game. You can play as horror classics, such as Freddy Krueger, Alien, Mike Myers, etc. The latest of these over 30 killers now was called The Unknown, which came out of beta on March 12th. Where is the controversy, you might ask? The voice actor they chose for this new killer, The Unknown, is a trans person. Even in this post, they say the trans community is crying and leaping with joy. Well, that didn't last long. There are multiple skins for each killer and survivor that can be bought or earned. This one, shown on the right, seems to be the one that's engulfed in this controversy. So some trolls made the derogatory connection between the transgender voice actress and a shape-shifting monster in female clothing. Even under this tweet, for example, you can see a troll posting within a few minutes of the original tweet, making this joke. The trans voice actor put out this insane response. She says that when she recorded her lines, they didn't show her a design for the character. She says many folks in the trans community are up in arms over this, and rightfully so. I feel that reparations from the team that deliberately tricked me is the only logical next step. She's so upset and infuriated that people are comparing trans people to these clearly transphobic character skins. There was no diversity consultant on this project. No diversity consultant? Oh my god! How are they even able to function as a business without a diversity consultant? Anyway, she claims that they knew they were making a stereotypical man in a dress character, and having a trans voice actress in it would bring lots of money and people back into the game. I'm not dumb. I know how marketing works. Apart from the latter of this being paranoid nonsense, it's quite sad because Behavior, the studio behind Dead by Daylight, have always tried to be LGBTQ friendly. They've announced characters as gay, included LGBT cosmetics. So it's pathetic that you'd make these baseless accusations and then demand reparations from the company. It's damaging for the community that you purport to speak for, because trying to be inclusive and appeasing these snowflakes can blow up in your face and cause backlash. That's the message it projects. And if it wasn't patently clear, this wasn't the intention of the game developers. And this isn't even the first time something like this has happened. Behavior included these skins for Leatherface. The idea being that Leatherface was taking the skins of his victims. But trolls and racists used the skin for Claudette, the black character pictured here on the right, as a means to mimic blackface, and the skins had to be removed. So the voice actress either listened to the trolls or the controversy and misinterpreted the intentions of the developers to produce this unhinged response. I seen Vosch reacting to this, and he's blaming the right, as usual.
A bunch of right-wingers, specifically, I forget the accounts. I know one of it was Keemstar. Basically, what they started saying was that the game devs had epically owned this transgender voice actor by tricking her into voicing a character that wears girls' clothes. Yeah, here we go. Once the voice was recorded, gameplay of the creature was released for The Unknown, which is a deformed mutant in a skirt that appears to have hung itself. That's from Keemstar there. So, like, she just fully bought it, basically.
I'm guessing Vosch doesn't have any evidence for this claim. The tweet from Keemstar comes from March 15th, And the voice actress's accusations came from March 12th or 13th. I guess she's such a big Keemstar fan that she can predict the future and know what he was gonna say. And even in this tweet, he doesn't say that she was tricked. Sure, the title's clickbaity, but he's not the only news source on the internet to put out vague headlines in order for you to read the full article.
Many folks in the trans community are up in arms about this, and rightfully so. No, that's not true, though. Everyone was calling out those right-wing accounts for being liars. They weren't up in arms against the Dead by Daylight devs.
Again, this just isn't true. There were people in the trans community that were not happy about this decision. While there was trolls making clear jokes about the trans community, in my opinion, it's way more likely she was convinced by these genuine tweets from her own community. And Vosch is just running cover so these snowflakes don't look completely delusional. She elaborated on this so-called misunderstanding, and nowhere does she allege that she was tricked by anybody. So it seems like Vosch is just making stuff up.
If you're aware enough of what the online culture war is like that you are even aware of this happening and you have a reaction to it, then you should be aware enough to not trust everything right-wingers say.
Again, where is your evidence that she took the narrative from right-wingers and not her own community? The only thing you've shown is a tweet from Keemstar, which happened days after she made the accusations.
Oh, they have an example of one of the tweets that kicked this off. New Dead by Daylight killer is a deformed freak in a skirt voiced by a trans VA. What in the ever-living heck did the devs mean by this? So again, like, it's really important to understand this, okay? They know they're lying. It's not like it's just bait. Yeah, it's just bait. That's it. They to fall for this.
He's trying to portray it as a lie and not bait/trolling that it was. And the reason they target these types of communities is they know there's a good chance that they'll fall for this obvious bait, because this is the type of innocuous nonsense that would outrage the fragile left. This isn't an example of some conspiracy theory created by the right. It's another example of the left being exposed as snowflakes. I think it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, just in case. Obviously, the harassment experienced by this person is not okay.